This story began last year when my wife started having back problems and needed not only medical treatment but also regular massage sessions. Naturally, I spared no expense for my beloved, and the best specialists in the city were at her service. Several times, I had to take her to the capital for examinations. Fortunately, no serious interventions were required. To fully resolve her back issues, my wife needed to visit a massage therapist. She found a good specialist in a medical center, so I wasn't worried and just gave her money for the sessions. I admit that at first, I didn't even care about the gender of the specialist, as everything was happening in a medical center, and I couldn't imagine anything going wrong. But I was wrong, very wrong. One day, I accidentally found out that when my wife went for a doctor's examination, he told her she could stop the massage sessions. How did I find out? It's simple. The doctor is my acquaintance, and we ran into each other at the store. He asked about my wife's health and praised her for following all the prescriptions, and even joked with me that now we could save a lot of money, as the massage used to be almost a daily procedure, requiring significant financial investment. Of course, I was surprised and asked when exactly he had told my wife to stop the massages. The doctor replied that it had been over a month ago. I pretended that I had simply forgotten that my wife had told me something similar, and we parted ways. As I walked home, dark thoughts kept creeping into my mind about why my wife was going to the sessions if she didn't need them. I didn't think that too much massage could be harmful, but I didn't understand why she was spending time that could be used for something more useful. I decided to ask her directly. She replied that she felt much better after the massages and that she really needed them. I decided to wait another month, but instead of the sessions decreasing, they only increased, and my wife became very interested in continuing these massage procedures. I couldn't understand anything, so I decided to simply place a turned-on voice recorder in her purse during one of the sessions. I knew she wouldn't notice anything, as her purse could hold all the Bermuda Islands and even a bit more, so finding something in there was impossible, but losing something was always easy. I planned the operation for the weekend when my wife would go straight from home to the massage, as on other days she would go there from the pool or other similar places, so I didn't need any extra recordings to listen to. I did my part, saw my wife off, and waited for her to return. In my impatience, I played computer games, did half of the household chores, and finally, 4 hours after she left, my wife returned. I managed to retrieve the recorder quickly. I really hoped I wouldn't find anything suspicious on the recording. I was very wrong. I only needed to fast forward through the time it took her to walk to the center, and I already heard a completely different picture. My wife was clearly having a great time with her massage therapist. At first, I even thought she hadn't gone to the center but to some lover's hotel or apartment, so I had to rewind a bit to hear the conversation from the clinic and how my wife was paying for such entertainment. Of course, in such conditions, they didn't do anything too loud, but everything was more than audible within the office, and the recorder I left in her purse recorded everything I needed. The big question for me was what to do with this information. I finally called the center and found out who worked there as a massage therapist. It was quite simple, as I was interested in his diploma, and since the center was good, they offered to let me check it myself. The information I received was more than enough to find him on social media. That's when I found out that this doctor had a wife and children. We also have a child, but that didn't stop me from getting even with my wife. I didn't want a simple solution with violence, I needed more serious revenge options or just to have a good laugh at these lovebirds. The choice was very difficult, but I decided on a solution for the situation. It turned out that the wife of a colleague from work worked at this center, and I asked her to deliver a supposedly gift set for massage in a beautiful box, but to do so only after they both entered the office and to say it was a present from the manufacturer who wanted to promote their product through the clinic. It sounded quite plausible. The packaging was so beautiful that it was hard to resist the temptation not to open it. Video. Around the gift box were 4 small cameras that were not visible to the naked eye, one on each side. Inside, a friend helped set up a simple surprise. Open the lid, and everything within a 3-meter radius gets splashed with green dye. I had seen something similar before in funny videos. And it gave me this idea. We tested the box, and everything worked perfectly. The time for payback had come. The box was brought into the office, it started recording, and I saw everything in real time. The problem was that I didn't consider that there was no massage or procedure. This bald guy was just having my wife. When it was all over and I thought I would only get this disgusting video, my wife asked the massage therapist to open the box and give her a massage, as she always liked such new cosmetic things. I think you can guess what happened next. The whole office was green. Since the bald guy opened it, his whole face was splashed. My wife also got a good dose, but her face was green in spots. I watched this and laughed like a horse in a pasture. I immediately sent the video to his wife on social media. She was online at the time. After seeing it, she asked who I was and where she got the video. I replied that the video showed what had happened just a few minutes ago and that she could go straight to the clinic to deal with her husband while he was trying to wash himself off. This woman didn't need much persuasion. It turned out she lived nearby. Literally 5 minutes after she went offline, the video became much more interesting and eventful. The wife of this bald guy burst into the office. And this was despite the door being closed, and he didn't want to open it. She just broke the lock, which was held by a mere promise. And a fun beating of this couple ensued. I watched as my half-naked wife, desperately trying to scrub the green dye off her face and clothes, in her underwear, tried to fend off this fury. The bald guy, meanwhile, tried to break up the women's fight, and his wife showered him with curses. I continued to laugh, even grabbing a beer and some chips from the fridge. Meanwhile, the fight of the three turned into a real concert of requests. The administrators rushed in at the screams. They saw what was happening inside, were shocked, but still tried to calm everyone down, as there were clients waiting in the hallway. A few of them also came to the screams, but there was no more room inside, so I could only tell by the voices that someone else was there. When the fight was over and my green-faced wife came home, I casually asked her what had happened. She couldn't even come up with a decent lie. Then I showed her the video and immediately the door. What happened to that bald guy, the story doesn't say. At least, I was no longer interested. After that, I simply got a divorce and am now enjoying solitude. For now, I have no further plans. She had the sense not to make any tricks with the child. So I honestly pay alimony and don't worry too much about what my ex is up to.